Previously on Spenelli Speaks. I'm creating a TBR for my delivery room.
Know you've been a good friend, and that's in the thick and thin, and I know it's never gonna end, 'cause you've been a good friend.
Hi everyone, Dani here. Welcome back to my channel. It is Saturday and a start of another weekly reading vlog. So if you are new here, these are my vlogs where I just kind of talk to you about my week, whether that be reading or getting ready for my baby or just random stuff I think about. Today is Saturday. I may have already said that. But anywho, I am getting started on my reading week. Usually the weekend is kind of the start of like figuring out what do I really need to all read. And this week, I think I'm going to be kind to myself and make a really small goal. And that is to finish Green Glass House, which is my DoubleBookedCo book club pick. I have about 175 pages left, so I think that's feasible. And I also want to finish the Nancy Drew book that I'm reading. I'm doing a separate vlog on this, so you haven't seen me really talk about it. I'm only 2 chapters in, but those 2 chapters were really fast. But I was stopping so that I could, vlog about it. But yeah, so those 2 books I for sure want to finish this week because, yeah, then I will only really have, I think, Anne of Green Gables and Bring Up the Bodies. I'm pretty sure. I'm gonna have to check my book journal because I have a feeling there are more in there that I didn't put on there. And I haven't done anything in my like all year round reads, which are Sarum, and A People's Tragedy. So yeah, but those are the 2 that I for sure want to get done, and then we'll see what next week brings me. Hopefully Anne of Green Gables and Bring Up the Bodies. Anywho, so yeah, I just wanted to start this vlog with what my tentative plans are, and then as we go through the week, we'll see how well I do. Hi friends, it is Sunday afternoon. I have really been sleeping all day. I got up at like 7, but I did not sleep well again last night. I've been having a lot of acid reflux, which has been waking me up to the point where I think I'm gonna throw up. But then, once I sit up, it kind of like goes down, and then I take a few Tums. But then by the time I sit up, then I have to go to the bathroom. And then I'm like wide awake. So last night that's what happened. And thankfully we have a guest room. So I just go in there. There's a ton of pillows in there. So I just like make a little cocoon for myself so that I'm sitting up a little bit more. And last night I was really awake. So I ended up playing some of the Thomas Cromwell book. So Bring Up the Bodies. I probably fell asleep in there somewhere, but it's okay. I'm just gonna keep going. And I am liking it. Like I said before, and I've said this many times in my vlog, it is more about the Seymours. Not completely, but it keeps bringing them up. And then we're seeing a little bit more of the politics with Thomas Cromwell and the people that surround him. And kind of there was a scene between him and George Boleyn, and it kind of like was putting him back in his place. Like, he's not a person that has a title. He is still like a servant, like he serves the king. So kind of like putting him in his place, almost like reminding him that he does not have a title and he's here to just serve them. Not like what you would think of like Downton Abbey, the people that serve you dinner, but like he's a service. Like, you're a lawyer, you're here to consult with the king, you're not here to pay any favors or anything like that. So it was interesting to see that scene, and we're starting to see more of Cromwell's like feelings, not feelings, but like his thoughts and observations of what is happening around him because of how he even came to be part of the conversation. So I think he's having a few conflicting ideas with what is happening, like with Queen Catherine, where I left off, that I remember, where I paused it and was like, okay, I probably should go to bed. He is visiting with Queen Catherine, which she's not queen anymore. But just how that dynamic worked. And she's ill at this point. And I'm pretty sure in history, I think she dies on the same day as Anne Boleyn's beheading. I'm pretty sure she dies on the same day. That could just be me thinking of something else, or maybe I read that in something fictional, but I'm fairly certain she dies the same day, like of an illness, which was really weird. But anywho, yeah, so they're kind of having conversations, and I really like Queen Catherine. Like, I mean, obviously I've not read a ton of nonfiction pieces, but just, I don't know, what I have read has been really interesting. What I should do is I should grab one of my British literature books, because they always have a timeline. I should check that out and just look at the succession, because I you know it's Queen Catherine, Anne Boleyn, Jane Seymour, and then it gets garbled after that. After that, I'm just like, I don't know. There's 3 more. But anywho, so that's been really interesting. I really do like that book. I think I'm like 25% in at this point, so I think I have like maybe like 12 more hours left, which at double speed I have 6 more hours left. But that has been interesting. And then I read some more in Green Glass House. I am to the finish line almost, so I have like just over 100 pages left. And though I am enjoying this book, though it is interesting, and I think I said in an early clip, like just wondering what makes a middle grade, I am disappointed in the length of these chapters. This is not a book I could read aloud with a middle grader, because if you're like me, when you're reading a book and you're getting to a point where you're like, I'm tired, or I would like to, move on to a different book or whatever, sometimes what I do is like, oh, but I would love to read one more chapter. How long is this next chapter? Well, I did that with this next chapter, which is chapter 11. It's 30 pages long. Who in their right mind makes a middle grade chapter 30 pages long? Like, if you're sitting in bed with your young one and you're reading this aloud with them, 30 pages would take you forever, because you're reading aloud, you're doing voices, whatever you may be doing, but that's a long chapter. Like, 20 pages in a middle grade book, I feel like, is long. So I'm a little bit disappointed about how long the chapters are. That's entirely way too long for me. That's too long for me in a regular, like, adult book. That's insane. So that's one thing that is really annoying to me. Though I'm enjoying the book and I'm enjoying where it's going, it's just not reading like a middle grade to me for some reason, other than the fact that Milo is 12 years old. So I don't know. I am enjoying the story. I'm not enjoying the format at all. So yeah, I don't know. We'll see how I feel at the very end. I should be able to finish this soon. It's only Sunday, so I have many days left this week, though this week is going to be quite busy. I did read some more in this one as well, the Nancy Drew, so stay tuned for that vlog if you haven't seen it already. Then I was looking at my TBR. I think I mentioned that in an earlier clip, because I wanted to make sure, like, am I missing any books that I was supposed to be reading? And it just looks like I actually added 2, which I already read. So it's just Anne of Green Gables, Nancy Drew, Green Glass House and Bring Up the Bodies that are really needing to be done this month, which I'm right on track. And I realized that I do have Anne of Green Gables on audiobook. So hypothetically, I could listen to that on audio if I'm feeling a little bit of pressure reading things physically. And I do have to go to work tomorrow and Tuesday. My old job, I am helping them with payroll as they're out on vacation. So I'm going to be doing that. So I do have like an hour a day of audiobook. So that could help me with Bring Up the Bodies, or I could start Anne of Green Gables. So I'll have to see how I'm feeling. I think it'd be fun to listen to Anne of Green Gables. Plus, considering I'm doing payroll and I don't have any other responsibilities like I used to where, you know, you'd have to answer the phone or everything, I could listen to it while I'm working. So I could potentially even get something done, which would be fantastic. Or I could get another book in, another middle grade, because they're pretty short. So anywho, of course, I still have like the other Boleyn girl, Kristen Levenstatter, Eye of the World, Sarum, and People's Tragedy, but we'll save those for another day. Today is, I'm already in a pretty long clip here, and I apologize, but I wanted to talk a little bit about my reading. We have a new product launch for DoubleBookedCo, so I'll be doing that. And then I think it's just going to be grilled cheese and clam chowder for dinner because my husband's been craving clam chowder and it sounds super easy to do, so that's what I'm going to do. Maybe I will see you later on today. Otherwise, sometime later in the week. Good early morning. It is Thursday morning. It is about 6 o'clock. I have been up since 3, again with the acid reflux. Just couldn't fall asleep. I did listen to more of Bring Up the Bodies, which has been really interesting. And I think in an earlier clip I mentioned thinking that Queen Catherine and Anne Boleyn died on the same day. That is very incorrect. So in Bring Up the Bodies, Queen Catherine has died. So that prompted me to, like, you know, look it up on the internet. And yes, so she died in January of, I think, 1556. And then Anne will lose her head in May. So right now we're just to the point in Bring Up the Bodies where she has miscarried a boy. And the king has had his accident, his riding accident, so his leg is all messed up now. And he is starting to feel ill feelings toward Anne Boleyn. And we're seeing him lean more towards Jane Seymour a little bit. So it's really interesting to see that thought process. You know, his ex-wife or consort or whatever you want to call her, whatever he believed her to be at that point, has passed. He's had this near fatal accident, and his young wife has miscarried a boy, a male heir. So I can imagine that was that weighed very heavily on him, and probably set the course for his future wives a little more speedily because of that idea of that mortality and the, you know, significance of still not having an heir. So, yes. Very interesting. I am really liking these books, and I'm hopeful to be done with them soon, and not in a bad way. I don't mean it like that, but I think now I'm really interested in reading something nonfiction to more solidify the timeline and solidify the goings on of that time. So yeah, I am really liking it because it's jarring a lot of thoughts. So past that, since I've not seen you in the last couple days, I've had a busy week. I did some work for my past employer on Monday and Tuesday, helped them with payroll while they were on vacation. So Monday and Tuesday were kind of shot for me. And then yesterday I had all intents and purposes to talk to you all and tell you what was happening, because I had been reading, but the day just got away from me. I ended up going to lunch with some good friends for a little while, and just kind of came home and fell asleep. But I have been reading a great deal in Green Glass House. And by the time you see this, we may have already done our live discussion on Green Glass House for DoubleBookedCo's book club. So I'll put I'll put the link in the description. This is really good. I'm about 50 pages left of the story, so I'll be finishing this morning here. So you may see a later clip of me kind of talking about that, but something has just happened that I was not aware was going to happen. It was very much a surprise, but at the same time, once it happens, you're like, oh, that makes sense. So now I'm eager to find out what is gonna, like, how is it gonna end? So yeah, so we'll be discussing this this coming Sunday. So like I said, by the time you see this vlog, we'll have already done the discussion. So I'll make sure that that is linked for you if you want to follow along. I think that'll be a fun discussion. As this is the first time the book club will have read a middle grade book. I don't know if you can see that yellow there, but I'm also almost done with Nancy Drew, which again, by the time you see this vlog, you probably will have already seen the Nancy Drew vlog, because I did a separate vlog for that. So I will link that in the description as well. And then, which is also in a separate vlog, but you won't have seen it yet, before this vlog, I started reading Anne of Green Gables. So that is another one that you can look forward to. As far as any other reading, that's really it. And I think that'll be what'll close me out for the month. I have the rest of this week and weekend, and then all of next week. So depending on my ability to read, I might be able to get at least one more book in there, which would be really fun. Or, I don't know, finish all these books. Come on. You don't want to finish those. But other than that, today I have a doctor's appointment and I just have to get a few things done. Like I said, it's really early right now, so I'm just going to finish Green Glass House. I'm probably going to finish Nancy Drew. And then I have a few other things I have to do as I continue to get ready for the baby. And yeah, that's about it. Hi friends. Just finished Green Glass House, and though I feel like the book was well written and the content of the book was okay, it really fell flat for me. Like, it was kind of lackluster. And I feel like a lot of people probably like the book, but I feel like for a middle grade book, it was super slow. There wasn't a lot happening. And like, I can't imagine a middle grade child like keeping its attention, like keeping their attention very long. But I don't know, I'm a full-grown adult, so maybe I'm just being too harsh, but yeah, I don't know. It was okay. It was entertaining at times, but I feel like it was like super long and slow, and I'm not sure what the point of the book was. I mean, there are like little pieces that I'm like, okay, that's the point, but like a bigger overarching like point, I don't get. I'll really look forward to the discussion because hopefully the other people who read it will have some thoughts that will help me understand the purpose of that book. But anywho, it's about 7:30. I'm gonna make some breakfast for myself and probably try to get into some of Nancy Drew. And then I have my appointment, and then I'll probably take a nap because, like I said, I've been up since 3. So I'm already feeling kind of fatigued now that I've been up so long without a lot of sleep. So I'll probably take a nap and then get some of the other things that I wanted to get done today. So I don't know if you'll see me anymore today. You might see me for one last check-in tomorrow. And then we'll see where I'm at. Hi everyone. It is Friday, and this is probably gonna be the last clip of the vlog because I do have to get some editing done, but I wanted to stop in real quick and say hello and let you know where I ended for the week in my reading. I think I already told you I finished Green Glass House. I will link the live discussion in the description, as that will happen before you see this. I haven't yet fully rated it because I feel like after I've done the discussion with my book club, I feel like my feelings change on either side. Sometimes my ratings go up and sometimes my ratings go down. So I'm gonna wait to fully rate that until after I've discussed it with my group. I did finish Nancy Drew, which you probably have seen the vlog for this already. So I'll also link this in the description. And I did rate this in that vlog. So if you're interested in my reading of Nancy Drew and what I thought of it, that vlog is available for viewing. I am also reading Anne of Green Gables. I am up to chapter 7. There is another dedicated vlog for this one as well, so stay tuned for that. I don't know if I'll be able to link it in the description quite yet because I will not have finished this by the time this is up, but I am working on that. I also am working on Bring Up the Bodies by Hilary Mantel. That is part of Emily from Novelle Novels Wolf Hall read along. I'm about 50% done. And I feel like I'm liking this one more than Wolf Hall. Wolf Hall was great. I think I rated that like 4 stars. But this one I feel like we're getting a lot more, I want to say gossipy. I don't know if that is the word that I should be using, but I feel like we're learning more about individuals in this one, especially King Henry's like thought process, especially now that he has been injured. He's lost an heir and the Queen Catherine has died. So it's getting really intense as far as like his mental strains of needing a male heir, which is fascinating. And like I said in an earlier clip, I feel like I want to read some nonfiction about a lot of these books. A lot of these books have been drumming up a lot of feelings and interests of mine, and I'm feeling like Nonfiction November might be full of a lot of research into a lot of these topics because it's just churning in my mind. And a part of me feels like maybe that part of my mind actually takes away from enjoying a book. Because for these 3 books, which are all middle grade books, there's a lot of like adult like thoughts happening, like talking about orphans and orphanages and the care of orphans. And yeah, I don't know. It's just, I don't know if like my education and like interest level of certain things takes away from just enjoying reading. I don't know. I'll have to look into that. I'll have to think about that. Tell me in the comments, does that ever happen to you? Like, do you read a book that's supposed to be just for enjoyment and your mind like goes totally in a different direction and causes you to not enjoy the book as much as maybe you should? I don't know. But anywho, so lots of reading done. 2 books finished, 1 book started, and half a book left. And I still have a week of the month for reading. So I should be able to finish Bring Up the Bodies, and I should be able to finish Anne of Green Gables. What I really need to do is I need to get a lot of reading done in People's Tragedy that I'm reading with Christy, because I'm really far behind in that. So I will probably work on that next week for sure. But until next time, I hope you all are reading something great, taking care, and staying safe. And as always, you know how it goes. Happy reading. Bye.